Hi, this is Doug Heikkinen from Iris.xyz, and I'm here in San Francisco at Hightower's Apex conference with Barbara Archer, who's the managing director and partner at Hightower in St. Louis. Hi, Barbara.
Hello, Doug.
I know you started your practice over 30 years ago.
I did.
Why did you start it?
Well, thank you for asking. The reason I started it was in 1980 when my husband and I got married and moved to St. Louis, we hired a financial planning firm. And I know you will be so shocked to know that it was a group of men. And so for a couple of years, as we talked about what our dreams and goals were as a family and what we wanted to do, I kept hearing them talking to my husband. I kept hearing them focusing on male issues, and I never felt like I was being heard. So I decided, why don't I have a firm that delivers to the families, that understands and listens to both parties, both the men and the women, because women do have different needs and go through many more transitions during their lifetime often than men.
So I've been in financial services a long time, and it's always from the man's perspective. What's it like from a woman's perspective?
It's more fun. Because with a woman, they're often more willing to share. So not only are we talking about the numbers and the asset management, and our clients are intelligent, professional women, even if they're staying at home, they're professionals. Because what they're doing, they're engaged in a philanthropic community, they're engaged in their children's schools, and we have women that run large companies. So knowing those ranges, they are willing to share with us many of their family's dreams and their own dreams. They want to live their authentic selves. So when we hear this, we oftentimes spend more time questioning, trying to understand, being compassionate, empathetic, and we know more sometimes than they do of what they may need. And this will range anything from, we've helped find caregivers for their parents, because as you might guess, women are responsible not only for the care of the children if they have them, whether they're adopted or they're single parents taking care of children. They're also responsible for not only their parents, but oftentimes a spouse's parents.
You talked about transitions, and women have more transitions in their lives than men. What do you mean by that?
Well, stop and think about how many times in our lives, men, we hear about the midlife crisis, and they might change jobs, and women have all the same issues. However, they may have gone through childbirth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times or more, and then they're entering the workforce afterwards, or returning to the workforce, or deciding to stay home. And so each one of those, they're not only going through physical changes, they're going through relationship changes, they're going through hormonal and mental changes. So who better than another woman can feel compassionate about that? So nothing against you guys, but it is a little bit different. So not only those issues, but dealing oftentimes in that sandwich generation. We're caring for parents, we're caring for children, we may be caring for extended family. And then even as business owners or corporate leaders or running philanthropic missions, women oftentimes feel a responsibility to care for those team members or employees as family.
There's going to be a big turnover in the next decade as more boomers pass away and leave.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
And leave all this wealth to their spouses, who probably will be women. What's that going to look like?
Well, it's interesting. We're working with multi-generations now of our families. So we like to educate the children along the way. So this might be anything from working with one of the children to do a prenuptial agreement. It could be talking about dynasty trust or their estate planning. We meet with their attorneys. And I have my ever popular death checklist. And so when a family member of one of my clients passes, and many of my friends have asked me, please email me your checklist. There's a litany of things that have to be dealt with. Grief is exhausting. It's time consuming. All of the many details that have to be dealt with take a toll on anyone. So it's not only, again, the transfer of assets and money, and what people oftentimes forget, it's the legacy that a family wants to leave behind. And where I see more interesting conversations with the children after a family member passes, it's on those items like Dad's cigar box, or mom's special painting she picked up in Paris when she was a single woman. I mean, so it's many of those memories that, again, it's being a compassionate planner, and it's not all about statistics.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure. I enjoyed it. Thank you.